Hi everyone, welcome to another vlog of mine. So today's will be a review of Hangover 3 and Pain and Gain. First, Hangover 3. Out of the two movies I saw, Hangover 3 was way better. Um, First off, it's not like the first two where someone has a bachelor party and then things go awry. It's different. What happens is that Alan, played by Zach Galifianakis, sorry if I screwed up his name. He goes and is he's been off his meds for 6 months or whatever, and he bought a giraffe, and it got beheaded because of a bridge. And his father, he in that plays that he that's in the movie that plays his father in the movie. Um, he doesn't want him to. He wants him to go to rehab or do something with his life, and ends up having a heart attack and dying. And then the gang, the whole pack, decides to have intervention, and they get him to go with it. And then partway there, he doesn't want to do it, and then things go awry. And so, oh yeah, from now until Pain Again, I talk about Pain Again, it's gonna be a spoiler. Pretty much what I said just before, it's not really much of a spoiler because you see this in the commercial or in the trailers for it, so not really ruining much. Anyways, um, anyways, this car keeps on ramming them, and then finally, they get off the road, and they people take him out, they kidnap him, take him, and then we find out it's Marshall, and you find out later in the movie that the black dog in the first one, who comes back in this movie, works for this guy named Marshall, who I don't know, I forget what his real name is, but he is like the big boss, or whatever, and supposedly only the Wolfpack can um, find Mr. Chow, who stole like $21 million worth of gold bars. And Mr. Chow escaped the jail that he was in Bangkok. So Marshall takes regular Doug as insurance, and so they try to find Mr. Chow, and then Alan gets a text. They meet. Mr. Chow screws around with them, and eventually they end up in Las Vegas. Alan meets someone who's played by Melissa McCarthy, who you might know from Mike and Molly, the TV show. Anyways, and eventually they capture him. They get the bars, and Marshall is he shoots the trunk that Mr. Chow is in. They think he's dead. They open the trunk, and then he's not there. And then, and by the way, he's in a limo, and he comes out, and he kills the two that work for Marshall, and then pretty much Alan figures out that he has to stay away from Mr. Chow because Mr. Chow is bad for him. And so Alan and the Melissa McCarthy's character, they fall in love, and at the end of the movie they get married. that's pretty much the movie as a whole. I didn't say a lot of it because there's some parts I don't remember, and I don't want to ruin the whole movie for you. You gotta see it too. So, anyways, overall, great movie. I love that it's more about Mr. Chow's relationship with the wolf pack and how they deal with each other. So, I love that part of it. If it's not as much of the comedy as the first two were, which is a bit nice. Don't get me wrong, it's a mainly comedy movie, but there's little bits difference. Um, so, do I suggest go seeing it? Hell yes. Do I suggest pre-ordering it when it's available to be pre-ordered? Hell yes. Now, now over to Pain and Gain. As a whole, even though I don't think it was supposed to be a comedy movie, it kind of ended up being one because of The Rock's character, because he kind of plays a doofus character that went to jail because of cocaine use, and then he found the Lord, and when he came out of jail, he wanted a job, and Mark Wahlberg got him the job, and pretty much Tony Shalhoub's character, you might know from the show The Monk. He's a bad guy. Mark Wahlberg wants to take his money and stuff, and so they kidnap him. Mark Wahlberg, I forget this guy's name, and the guy that The Rock. They kidnap him. They torture him a little bit. Not as bad as you think it would be, but still they kind of torture him until he's willing to sign signatures to sign over all of his assets and stuff like that. And then they try to kill him like 3 different times, and like one after the other, and it's just funny because they get him really drunk and they run him into the wall. It doesn't work, and then they try blowing him up, and it doesn't work because he doesn't really get blown up. I mean, he gets set on fire a little bit, and he's able to put himself out, but then that doesn't work. So then they hit him with a car, and that doesn't work. So they try running him over, and they somehow screwed all that up, which is freaking hilarious. And then when he finally made it into a hospital, when the police came, they didn't even believe him, which was freaking hilarious. And anyways, overall, it was just freaking hilarious. A couple of surprises for me was a wrestler named Kurt Angle was in it, and funny enough, Ken John, who played, I'm sorry if I said his last name wrong, who played Mr. Chow in the Hangover movie, he played a cameo role in this movie, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, overall, I think it's a pretty good movie. I suggest go seeing it, but buying it is another story. I suggest going on a Tuesday when it's cheaper. Yeah, but yeah, overall, pretty good movie, but not one of Mark Wahlberg's and Dwayne The Rock Johnson's best movies. But anyways, whenever you watch this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, night, and goodbye.